Hey guys, it's Harry, and I just wanted to start this video off by letting you guys know a little bit about my channel, a little bit about myself, and kind of the goal for my channel, you could say. And this is my first video in a long time. For those who are my previous subscribers, I haven't made a video since high school, and I'm 24 now, so to give you a little bit of insight on that. But to get to my point, I kind of just wanted to make a video about my personal experiences and a little bit of my gaming that I'm going to be doing, whether I put that on this channel or a different one that's yet to be discussed and figured out. I'm kind of starting from scratch in terms of everything, so I'm kind of trying to see, what feels right and where we go from here. But one thing I definitely want to get into is my lawn care business, as you can see. I want to get into, saying a couple of my thoughts on the industry. Also, that it's possible for a grown man, a kid, a woman, a grown woman with, whether you have family or don't have family, whether you've got a college education or you don't, or if you have schooling or you don't. I kind of want to let you know that it's possible to get started in this industry, especially if you're pursuing it, whether it's a hobby, side money, or your main career. But there's a lot of money to be made, and there are so many opportunities as long as you are willing to go out there and get your butt kicked every day. And I mean every day. You have to, especially if you're doing it on your own, I recommend you go under somebody first, learn what the lawn care, side of things are. Your daily, weed eating, mowing with a sit down, a stand up, a rider, however you want to call it. Even a push mower, you don't necessarily need to know how to do it, but if it's daunting and scary to some people, then go ahead and give it, give it a try. I definitely recommend getting mentored by someone, like I said, someone with a good amount of experience, not only so you know the proper ways on how to do things, but the safe way to do it and the professional way to do it, because I had to fake it till I made it kind of thing until I found a mentor who was willing to teach me, because not a lot of people are also trying to, get people who come to teach them just for them to leave, so I made my own, spot with the opportunity that I had in the business, in my mentor's business before, because I already had my business before him, but I wanted to be taught by somebody, so I became the employee again, and I let him teach me because I knew the YouTube side of things from YouTube videos that I saw from other professionals or, advice from people that I knew, but I didn't really know that many people. I knew one guy who did it, but a lot of people are gatekeepers and they don't want to really teach you or show you how to do things because they feel like, oh, you're going to steal my money if, in their head, I believe that's what they think. Oh, you're gonna take the opportunities that could possibly maybe come my way, which is like beyond rare, especially if you're not even in the same location. But that's just some people, I guess. But I kind of wanted to let you know that it doesn't matter what kind of tools you have, you can get started like today. Obviously, there's different levels of quality of tools. For professionalism, efficiency, and just for the sake of doing really good work and saving your back. Because if you're push mowing like a bunch of yards, which you can do, there's a lot of people who only use push mowers. I use a push mower because I'm just barely getting started. It's my third season, so like 3 years in, professionally doing it, lawn care wise. But I've been doing landscaping since before I met my boss, and a little bit of other things, because I kind of started off like handyman-wise. But to get to my point, if you want to get started in this business, I definitely recommend that you either go buy some equipment, whether, like, literally buy some used equipment. That's how I started. Get some used equipment. Um, get yourself a weed eater, a gas blower. Make sure anything that you get is gas, because me personally, my personal preference, make sure you get everything that's gas, because after being in this business for a while, you realize that it's quicker, you can last longer outside, without having to be recharging and all this stuff, because depending on your budget or just, how things are set up for you, some people want to go electric, and I do have electric tools, don't get me wrong, but it's only for specific things because I only had the budget for that at that time to get those things, and I'd rather just get something for now and then upgrade if it becomes like a everyday kind of service, and now I really need something more professional, more commercial, you could say, that lasts longer, won't burn out. And I actually have a Craftsman electric bush trimmer, but I've got 2 batteries on it, and batteries are expensive. That's why I more recommend going with gasoline than electric, just for that, because of the charge times. They may not last that long for certain things, like for leaf blowers, in my personal experience, and with the specific brand, I'm not going to say the name, but the leaf blowers just take too much juice from the batteries. Even if you have really good batteries, it goes real quick. Again, it could just be the specific brand that I used and whatnot, but I definitely recommend going gas just to get started. Go gas. If you have to use electric, by all means, but I don't think you'll get as many yards due to the fact that you won't be able to do that many in one day unless you buy like 20 batteries or something, and that's me being exaggerating or whatnot. I'm exaggerating at that point, but you get my gist. Again, personal preference, you can do whatever you like. It's your life, it's your money, it's your tools. Again, who knows what your situation is. I'm not one to judge or say, what to do, what not to do. Again, as my advice, take it with a grain of salt. But I definitely think that getting used tools is the way to go when you're starting. If you can get new tools, by all means, get new tools. And remember, you're going to get what you pay for in terms of tools. So if you can spend more for something solid, by all means, do your due diligence on which stuff is best and whatnot. And I can even recommend you some stuff from the specific tools that I've used under my mentorship with my boss. And I'll let you know, what is good and what is not good for that. And this is my company, by the way. It's named after my son. Kind of trying to, leave it for him when he's older and kind of teach him how to work and stuff when, he comes of age for that. But in terms of lawn care and landscaping, what you want to do is stick with both, right? Me personally. You're going to need the lawn care for that weekly check, and you're going to need the landscaping for those big checks during spring and fall. You may or may not get a new construction kind of landscaping gig going on if you're doing commercial during the middle of the year, but it's rare unless that's what you're aiming for. Because remember, now we have got residential kind of stuff, and then we've got commercial. So it really depends on how you want to do that, And obviously, if you're going to go commercial, and I would still recommend for residential as well to get insurance. I've got insurance for my business, I can give you guys a couple, how do you say it, recommendations. But again, do your own due diligence. I'm nobody to be telling you to be like, hey, use this one, use this one. It's just my way of trying to help you, but you don't have to go with those options. You can figure out your own. But as of now, I've had my insurance and I'm okay, and I can do commercial and residential, so it covers me in any way in case, you break a window or your employee breaks a window or there's a malfunction, and, obviously there's different kinds of insurance and whatnot, but I'd recommend going with a general liability in the meantime, just so that you can get work and so that your customers are covered before you and your tools. Because in my mind, the way I was raised is take care of somebody's stuff more than your own. So that's me, right? Now, I don't want to make this video too long, and I'll be making more videos. And if you have questions, if you have other things, you want me to answer or give my personal experience and advice on about it, I can do that. I'm going to, again, list some insurance places in the bottom that you can go check out if you're a brand new business owner and you're kind of looking for that. I recommend you call the person, the insurance place, and they'll talk you through it. They're super helpful. Just ask whatever questions that you may have. In terms of tools, go to pawn shops, go to, I don't know, eBay, whatever. And if there's stuff that's used, by all means, go ahead. Don't get stuff that's about to break either, Spend a little bit of money if you can. There's a bunch of deals going on like soon, because of Black Friday and all that stuff, depending on when you see this video. Yeah, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be linking the other videos up here or down here, wherever I decide to put this, because I haven't even started editing, and I'm not good at editing as far as I'm concerned yet. I need to get into it. It might even just be in the description for the next videos or however it comes out, but I'll be going over another couple key points in that video just so that this one's not too long, and this one might even get broken into more, but who knows. I think in the next video I'll be talking about our customers, because without customers you don't have a business. Tools and the different qualities, the different, not qualities, but the different level of tools, depending on the different kinds of, residential or commercial that you're going to try to go for, or professionalism. Your knowledge, your experience, hands-on work when I say experience, and then knowledge, again, kind of regarding, like, what do you know about the landscaping lawn care industry? I don't know. I'm not going to say I know everything. I'm still learning, but I know enough to get me through, because I've been doing work for a while now, and I've got a bunch of repeat customers, and I've got a lot of references and work, as you'll see on my shorts and other stuff, because I'm on different social platforms. Like, I've got my work given for, I have that down pat on my resume, you could say. I have people that will vouch for me on that. We're going to talk about, merch, some sort of advertising for, to help your business out and to get you kind of seen. But the biggest one will always be word of mouth and group pages. Like, I'm in Facebook pages for my community. Search up Hip Anything and, whatever your community is called, and I'm pretty sure you'll find a bunch of different versions of your community name on Facebook or any other group application that you can find. We're going to talk about how to price depending on your area, your state, time of year, seasons, different kinds of jobs and stuff like that. I want to be very transparent with that, because a lot of people always lie. They always come up with fake, super weird numbers. And again, also prices vary depending on how I said area, state, and all those things. It also It also depends on your quality of tools. If it's going to take you longer or shorter because of the kinds of tools that you have. Will it be not as good as a good tool if you were to use one, or if it looks a little bit crappier because of the kind of tool that you have, and also based on your experience and how good you are at doing those jobs. Obviously, stick with what is easiest and most, most proficient for you to do. The one that you're most confident with, stick with that. Those, jobs and whatnot, but don't be afraid to try stuff, because you got to start somewhere. And a lot of people are scared of, doing that and starting somewhere, but you can start at zero, fake it till you make it, look at some YouTube videos, ask people, and, get the ball rolling, or else you're never going to start. The biggest thing and the biggest trouble I had growing up, because I've always been hustling, man. I've always been hustling and try to, make a business, do my own thing. My biggest thing was always getting started, or the funds, or whatever. Bro, sometimes you just gotta risk it, and you gotta do your thing, and obviously pray and hope for the best. And if things don't happen, don't get discouraged. It's gonna suck for a little bit, but keep going. I know you can do it. And then we're also gonna talk about business practices like, integrity, honesty, quality. You can kind of say warranty for your work and whatnot. Don't be afraid to go back and say, hey, don't worry about it. If this is not to your liking, I'll come back and do it to your liking and fix whatever the problem may or may not be. Or if something breaks, you pay for it, whatever. We'll get more into depth in another video on that. But I'll be coming up with other videos. And if you guys have, again, questions or anything like that, please, by all means, don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All of those things are going to help me out in the future, because I hope that you know, like any other YouTuber or content creator, I hope this can be a part of my, you know, future. I want to do this every day. I've always wanted to do this. I used to do this, but I gave up. I quit. And, you know, I've been hard on myself for a long time on that because of my lack of consistency and discipline in that. But, you know, different age, different times. And I'm a little sharper nowadays than I used to be. And thank God, you know. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.